I will be speaking to you about that how you as an MBA student or as an MBA graduate or even as an MBA aspirant should believe in focus and not in FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. Hi guys, so welcome back to the vlog, and I finally had a bath, finally relaxed after a very long trip. Took a flight, then a train, then a cab, and now finally here at the resort in Diu. So ये रूम है, ये बेड है, ये बालकनी है, बीच है, ये टेबल है, ये वॉक इन क्लोजेट है, यहाँ पे कपड़े वपड़े चेंज कर सकते हो, ये वॉशरूम है. It's a lovely place. We'll give you a tour afterwards. I mean, I've already shared with you entire place, but this is a place I'm gonna sit in and have a lot of meetings, phone calls, work, and food. Now, in this video, what I specifically want to talk to you about is that I'm sure that you would have been seeing me travel around the world. You've been seeing me speak about freelancing. You've been seeing me speak about entrepreneurship, or even when you would have seen me speak about how to get on-campus placements. One thing which I would have always emphasized on is that one thing that you need to build a personal brand. You need to become a creator, and when I'm saying a creator, I don't mean to say an influencer or something of that sort. Somebody who likes to create, because only once you create you can become a personal brand, and once your personal branding is strong in your community, in your intended audience, only then you can get outcomes like this, wherein you're not dependent on a placement after your IIM or after your MBA, and because of that you can create the kind of outcomes you want for your own self, and that is the thing. So how do you make all of these things happen? You would have heard me speak about this in a lot of videos, but in this one, what I want to speak to you about is just one secret, which is at the core of it, which is at the core of how do you even prepare yourself to do something like this, that you can earn well, you can travel, you can have the freedom. And as I had informed you that there are only 3 ways to evaluate any job, any outcome from your MBA. It is financial, social, and emotional. How to score a straight A in all 3 of them. And the secret to that is one word: focus. I will be speaking to you about that how you as an MBA student or as an MBA graduate or even as an MBA aspirant should believe in focus and not in FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out, because that is what happens across B schools, across IIMs, that people want to do more and people want to do everything. MBA students want to do everything: club activities, place com, this, that, everything, that they want to get involved in everything because it is fashionable to do that. But in this video I will tell you that the truest way to success, and success is not only financially, it's financially, socially, and emotionally, happens when you focus and you do very focused work, which is what I'll be speaking to you about. That my story, how I used to do focused work through which I could build my personal brand, and how you can do the same for yourself so that you can make something great for yourself. And after your MBA, join this group of very few of us who have the freedom to travel around, to do the kind of work which we want to do, and to also enjoy our lives. Stay tuned, I'll speak to it about shortly. So I was talking to you about the importance of focus in an MBA exam. Now I'm walking towards the beach at my resort, Diu, and while I'm here, this is probably the best place for me to talk to you about focus, because what happens here is that you get the peace to think and to plan that what exactly is your next step in your life. Now that's the same thing which is important for you. Now what happens is that when you get into your MBA program, you always think about that, okay, what more I can do, you need to realize is that when you put your focus to more than one thing, you are basically spending your time on all of them as well. While you might think that time is your most valuable asset, let me remind you, time is not your most valuable asset. The most valuable asset which you have is your focus. So which means what? Which means that you have a lot of things to plan, which you have your classwork, you have your pre-reads, you have your assignments, you have your club work, and then you have to study for your placements. Now within this, suppose even after these 5 things, and I'm saying that if you have to prepare for the final placements, if you are not able to focus on what job role you are interested to have, then again within that also you have to study for 5 things. For example, you might say consulting भी करना है, broadman भी अच्छा लग रहा है, marketing and sales भी अच्छा है, let's start to study for all of them. That will never work. That is why I always advise my MBA students that right from the very first year itself you should get a complete clarity of what job roles you are aiming for. So the first point in focus is that, the first point which you should write down somewhere is that finalize the job roles which you are aiming for. That is the first thing which you can do to get focus for yourself. So that was the first point in focus, that पहली चीज़ तो यही है कि आप इस चीज़ पे फोकस कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कि आप एक जॉब रोल या एक आउटकम चूज़ कर लें. आई एम नॉट ओनली सेइंग दैट जॉब रोल. You could be somebody who was like me, who realized that okay, job is not something which I want to do. I want to live a life of freedom, live a life on my choice, that what work I want to do and when I want to be involved in anything. Hence I chose a lifestyle of freelancing and building my own startup, which is what I do. Hence, even if you choose anything like that, the second level of focus is that, are you focused enough to give a disproportionate amount of time in your day to that thing? This is very important, and with this you need to be very innovative as well. What do I mean by all of that? When I was an MBA student, I started my own blog. When I realized that okay, marketing is something that I am really interested in, I started a blog on that subject, on marketing. Okay, and on that blog, the kind of focus I had was that each week I used to write one article on that blog. So whatever I used to study inside my classroom, I used to write one article only on that, no extra work, but focus was important कि हाँ मैं हर हफ्ते जाके एक article तो ज़रूर I will create. Now with that kind of focus which I had for almost half a year, what happened is that in the next half a year I wrote so many articles, and so many of my articles were ranking on the page 1 of search engine, that my blog got viral across a lot of B schools in India. How it helped me was that focused approach helped me brand myself in that particular area. Now a lot of entrepreneurs around the world, they started to know that okay, this MBA student from India, he blogs about this thing and he's very much interested into it. Now thanks to all of that, I started to get a lot of freelancing assignment also. I have spoken about this in a lot of my blogs as well, but this is an important idea for you to know, that focus is very important. And the second level of focus is that, can you give a disproportionate amount of time to these things and build a body of work for yourself. अब इस सब में एक और प्रॉब्लम है, a lot of MBA students, your seniors will say that नहीं यार, MBA is not supposed to do focus, MBA is not supposed to have focus and all. MBA is about trying, exploring new things. MBA में अगर आपने न्यू चीज़ एक्सप्लोर नहीं करी तो फिर फ़ायदा क्या है? उस फिलॉसफी में एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है जो आपको शायद इनिशियली समझ नहीं आती है. यू डो नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दैट इनिशियली, बट व्हेन यू अंडरस्टैंड इट यू रियलाइज दैट यू वेस्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ योर टाइम. Now when your seniors or somebody else would say like that okay, MBA is about exploring all the things, this and that, stuff like all of these things happen, that in your first year you have not even planned that whether you want to do finance or you want to do HR or you want to do anything else, or marketing or sales, I don't know, because it is fashionable to say that okay, in the first year I'm still exploring, in the second year I'll start to think about that okay, what is my area of interest. That is wrong. I believe that is wrong, because the earlier, one thing you need to understand is that MBA is your final degree, and if in this right from the start you're not clear, agar right from the start you do not have the focus of what you have to do, then you'll be in a problem, because then soon you will realize that all of your other friends have clarity and hence they've started to have the skills which are important for that particular job role, but it's only you who was in this frame of mind that okay, I am exploring a lot of these things. Now the second thing is that what happens when you start to say that no, I should explore all the activities, I should also be involved in say a place come, I should be involved in this club activity, that club activity. When you try to stretch yourself, you are not realizing that you're stretching yourself too thin. By the end of the day, you might not even have the capacity or the drive to really give any one thing your 100%, which is important. I'll explain you why. Now, the next thing which you would ask, and what I was actually speaking to you about, is what seniors advise you or what somebody else would advise you that okay, no, you should explore a lot of things. One very simple thing is that if you were to forget everything else which I've shared with you right now, and if there was only one thing which you need to remember about, then it is one very simple thing, that focus is about becoming an expert at what you want to do in your life. For you as an MBA student, फोकस का अर्थ है आप उस चीज़ में एक्सपर्ट कैसे बन सकते हैं जो चीज़ आप करना चाह रहे हैं. ओके, नाउ अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग which you need to understand here is that yes, you should explore all the things, but you should explore all the things only to identify which thing you want to focus on, and the duration of that exploration, it cannot be your entire first year, or in fact it can't even be the first half of your first year. It needs to be few weeks. And right now it's very important that you utilize some of the things, for example the YouTube and a lot of these things, for you to know that okay, what is a job role all about. So if suppose you are not sure about it, okay, which area you want to completely focus on, then it's very simple. Just spend 1 or 2 weeks in exploring all the options. I know that once you are in your MBA, you will find a lot of new people who will open up your horizons into a lot of new fields and a lot of new areas, and for that it's okay to keep on exploring in the first few weeks in itself that okay, which area I want to specialize in, and then start off with focus activities so that the objective is that you can become an expert, because only once you're an expert you will be valued, and only once you're an expert you will get paid for your skills. So a very simple 3-point agenda of how you can become an expert and can get paid for your skills. A very simple thing, whichever area you are definitely interested in, start off a blog in that area. When I was in my first year, I started off with all of that. How it helps you is that as you create more articles and more content on it, you are basically building a personal brand in that area. You are establishing your expertise. Now just imagine if you would have started a blog on say a product management. Now when you will go into a prodman job interview, you will be able to say that sir, yes, I am fit for this role because I am so interested in this field that I have an entire blog in this field, and half of my articles are also on the page 1 of the search engines. That is the impact. That is the kind of things which I used to say in my interviews. Hence I know that all of these things work, and focus really gives you a lot of value in the end in your entire career.